Are you or your dog stuck in a rut? Are you doing the same things over and over with your dog? Well, if you want to make big strides both in training, in well being, in your connection with your dog, it really is helpful to introduce novelty and variation. So, in case we're meeting for the first time, my name is Mary Debono, and this is the Easier Movement, Happier Dogs podcast. So, yeah, there is a great way to get the cooperation, if you will, of your dog's nervous system by introducing things that are novel, that are non habitual to your dog. But you have to be sure that you're doing them in a way that isn't threatening to the dog's nervous system, right? Keeping that sense of safety for the dog is so, so important. But we do this like in the work that I teach, the hands-on work that I teach, and you could learn about it in my book, Grow Young with Your Dog, and also listen to this podcast. We use a lot of novelty, right? With our hands, like we touch the dog in different ways. We support the dog and move the dog in these novel ways. And we also do it where we vary it a little bit. We introduce variations. This again gets the not gets it stimulates the dog's nervous system to pay attention, and to pay attention in a positive way, and to start creating new neural connections. That's why this work can be so helpful, not only for physical improvement, which it is, but also for behavioral issues, because you're helping the dog feel that change is possible. The other brilliant thing about this, and I'm not taking credit for this, this is my work is based on the work of Dr. Moshe Feldenkrais. He developed work for humans, and I am trained in his work, and I also added some other things to mine, and we adapted it for animals. And one thing we know is that as you introduce safe, novel things and variations, you're actually helping your dog's nervous system be better equipped to cope with change, to be more resilient to stress, to not fear change. So this is why really paying attention to doing things that are not going to cause your dog any kind of fear is important as you introduce these novel things. So again, we go into this more in detail in my hands-on work, right? There's ways you introduce novelty and variation into the work. And that's very, very effective for helping the dog's nervous system feel how, wow, that feels different, and it feels good, and it feels relieving. Well, now other things that maybe things in the environment aren't as scary. Maybe change. Oh, we're changing where we're doing this or where we're going. Maybe now are not as scary. And of course, this is a gradual process, right? There might be little improvements and then more and more over time. And this also works for us. So again, in the Feldenkrais method, it was developed for humans. There is this sense like as you do the different varied and novel movements, your nervous system stops fearing change. You are more equipped to deal with stress, to deal with change in your life, which is really, really pretty cool. And you know me, I'm all about the win-win. So I want you to be doing better in your life, to have the healthiest, happiest life you can, and your dog. So when you do this work, especially this hands-on work that I teach, you're both improving at the same time. So it's that win-win. And you know why? Because you and your dog deserve to feel great together. So play with this and then think about it. Maybe you're not trained in the work and the hands-on work yet with me, but think about how you can introduce novelty and variation into your everyday life with your dog, which is also very important whether or not you do the hands-on work. Like think about the everyday things you do with your dog. Do you always do them in the same place, in the same way, follow the same routines? Mix it up. Mix it up. But again, it's up to you to really read your dog and not to do something that's actually going to be like over threshold where your dog feels stressed. So learn to really read your dog's body language and pay attention to any signs of stress and make sure that you introduce changes very, very gradually. Okay. And that's how you'll get a positive reaction where the nervous system will be like, this is great. Like change is good. Okay. And like, even for yourself, we tend to be so habitual with things. Like, we put our clothes on the same way. Like maybe you put the same arm first into your jacket or your shirt. Change that around. Put the other arm in. How does that feel? Now, for some people, they tell me, oh my goodness, that feels so weird. And that has a lot to do also, by the way, with your habits of side bending. I mean, it could, depends on how you put your jackets on. Put your shoes and socks on in a different order. Your pants, like, do you always put the same leg in first? Right? You might like change things up. If you wear a watch or any kind of Fitbit or whatever, put it on the other arm. Like just start to do different things. Use your non-dominant hand more often. Like, can you do things with your dog with your non-dominant hand? Brush your dog or something like that. And of course, always be safe. If you don't feel safe doing something, don't do it, of course. But start to bring this sense of novelty and variation into your life. And then it will also automatically transfer to do what you do with your dog. You'll start to be more creative about it. And because again, it's stimulating your brain in a new way. So you might find automatically you start to become more creative. Helps you get out of any kind of ruts. So remember that you want to build in these novel experiences, these novel sensations, right? Get out of your rut and really start to have fun, like have that different sense of adventure. The other thing is, and I wrote about this in my book too. My book is all about, growing young with your dog, right? So it's called Grow Young with Your Dog. So it's for both of you to feel younger, more more vital and all that good stuff. One of the things that scientists have discovered is that when you do things non-habitually, your perception of time changes. You know how as we're maturing, we're feeling like time is going so fast, right? Because it's our perception of time. When you do things non-habitually, time tends to slow down in a really beautiful way. So I thought that's a really cool perk of this. So in addition to all the other benefits, you also get that, which is pretty cool. So have fun. Let me know how it goes for you. Let me know what you decided to do differently with your dog or even without your dog. But let me know and let me know how it works for you. So thank you so much for listening, subscribing, and reviewing the podcast. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Bye for now.